Misunderstandings. The entire problem with the world is misunderstanding of God. And there was a reason why God divided all of us into different religions and different cultures. Perspective. As I've said before, opinions are unnecessary. Opinions are evil because we don't know, and we treat these opinions like they're fact. And we hold on to them and we put them in our core belief systems. But we don't need opinions. We don't actually need to know anything. But we demand answers. We need to know. We demand it. Okay. So how can we know with finite knowledge? The answer is perspective. Vantage points. The more angles you can get on one particular topic, the better understanding you can have. And this goes with anything. If you only listen to one style of music, for example, I'm a musician, and if I were to write music on an instrument, if I only listen to one artist and one style of music, that's the only style of music that I would ever be able to write. It would be almost impossible for me to create anything outside of that realm. There would be tiny little variations, but I would be pigeonholed. I would be stuck. Now, as a musician, I can tell you that because there's so many different scales and so many different types of artists and so many different variations, this diversity allows me different perspectives on the grand picture for music. So, that's why God gave us all of these different religions, because what we have been doing is we've been holding on to our opinions, and we know that we're reading our Bible correctly. We know that our Bible says this, and that Bible says that, and that Quran says this, and that culture says that. We're too busy holding on to our opinions, fighting over the disagreements. There's a religion called Baha'i that they stop and they zoom out. And they say, you know what, we're saying a lot of the same stuff. We're just using different phraseology. So when you zoom out, you see and hear the same exact story, but at a bigger picture, and it allows you to have a true vision of what God really is. Again, because of the misunderstanding. You can take words like sin. Sin means to miss the point, to miss the mark, to misunderstand. Evil is not a bad thing that you can do. Evil is anything that's not God. So if you think something hasn't been figured out yet, well, that's not God, and that's evil. Hell is separation from God, because God is complete, it's finished. Pulling away from that is hell. It's painful, it's torment, it's terrifying, because you don't know where you're going. You're spinning out of control into consciousness. You need the stability of the finished product. That's why God made the creation. He grounded us, literally. Grounded us. Kept us stable. Kept our consciousness contained so that we could learn. Learn what? That we're God. You are God. And that's the other misunderstanding. Was Jesus God? Yes. Jesus was God. Was Buddha? Yes. Muhammad? Yes. Me? Yes. Everyone is God. That's the point. This entire creation serves one purpose: existence. Conscious existence for reality. Free will. To understand that free will. This is God literally creating himself in a physical realm through all of us. We are the seeds of that God. We are supposed to plant our seeds in that God. He became the soil. We are the seeds, and we can grow into the finished products. But we refuse to plant our seeds and be one with God. We refuse it. That's the only problem. That's the misunderstanding. We think that, oh, I don't want to be a slave to God. There's no way for us to possibly know. Do you honestly believe that an omnipotent God, an omniscient God, all-powerful, all-knowing, all everywhere, omnipresent, wouldn't allow you a way to talk to him? The misunderstanding. You think prayer is asking for stuff. That's how everyone treats prayer. Prayer is to ask. Like he's a genie in the clouds granting wishes. No. A prayer is to plant your seed, to be one with God. Some people do it through meditation. Some people do it through peace and harmony with others. Maybe alone time in a forest, or going on a hike or walk, being one with nature. Everybody prays differently. But the point is not to ask for anything. The point is to be gracious for this existence. Plant your seeds in God. Plant your consciousness. God is the Wi-Fi. Well, God is the internet. Your spirit's the Wi-Fi. Your mind, your body is the computer. It's the vessel. You are the creation. You are a part of the nature. The misunderstanding is what tears us apart. Because we think these other infidels and these other blasphemers and these other sinners. You're not supposed to judge others because everyone's lost. Jesus said, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." And I've heard Christians say that, well, that's giving permission. As long as you acknowledge your judgment and you can judge yourself, then it's okay to judge others. And then they have this weird kind of justification for pointing fingers and throwing stones. No. Judge not, lest ye be judged. It means you can't judge anyone because you're finite. Judge yourself. And you'll realize, oh, I'm finite. I can't judge anyone. I can't even properly judge myself. Whoa, that's weird. But it's the truth. It's a misunderstanding. Your misunderstanding and your need for opinions are what's causing all of this. We're holding on to all of it. But remember, we don't need it. The job's done. The good news, it's finished. It's finished. Think about every single good time, every single happy moment in your life. Reminisce. Bask in the happiness that you felt. Picture a moment in your mind. Maybe it was Christmas morning. Maybe it was when your child was born. Maybe it was when you won a trophy. You weren't in the future or the past. You were in the moment. Anytime that you're ever the happiest, you're in the moment. That's God. God is the moment. Time doesn't exist. There is no future, there is no past, there's now. Be now. Live now. Stop misunderstanding all of the other noise. Be one with God, and God is now. God is everything. Stop misunderstanding. Every single time you grab an opinion, you think that there's something that you need to do. But the job's already done. You don't need to do anything. But I have to pay my bills. I have to pay rent. I have to make sure that my kids get to college. My car is broken down. Yeah, it is. Deal with it as it comes. Have the strength, have the faith that everything's going to be okay. You know it is, because the job's finished. And once everybody finds their way with God and becomes one with God, you start helping others. You see someone that's hungry, you feed them. You see someone with a broken down car, you help them tow their car or push their car. You don't just drive by on autopilot. Everybody disconnected from God is looking down and in their own misery and their own hell. But those who are connected to God look up. And they live free. There is no misunderstanding when you're with God. There's only misunderstanding separated from God. That's what hell is. Drop the opinions. Drop the progress. We don't need progress. Progress already happened. We pulled away from it at Eden. Adam and Eve chose to take the path of the tree of knowledge. Well, that's the knowledge. The evil knowledge that we don't need to pull away from God. But Jason, I didn't make that choice. God didn't give me that choice. God gives you that choice every single day of your life. You have the choice every single day to accept Him or reject Him. I'm telling you right now, and are you accepting the truth or are you rejecting it? I rejected God for the majority of my life. And I was in misery. Life was so hard. But I found the bliss. I found and connected my spirit to God, exactly where it was supposed to be, and I accepted who I am. I am one with God. I am God. And all of my anxiety and depression and fear and worry is gone. There's none of it left. Quite frankly, I don't know how I ever held on to it as tightly as I did. All those dumb opinions. When the world wakes up, and that's what this is the apocalypse, when the world finally realizes that you can hear God in your head if you plug into Him, because you are God, collectively we will all merge together and realize that we were never alone and individuals. We were always a collective. And once we finally do that, we can be a collective together through God in harmony. And that torment and the pain and the worry and the suffering and the wars and the fire and the hunger and it's over. Because it serves no purpose. It never did. The only reason we ever did any of this is because we worshipped money instead of God. We worshipped mankind's broken systems instead of God. We always worshipped broken, incomplete systems that are flawed, instead of the one true God that is without error, and having faith in that. So ask yourself, why would you put faith in so many broken man-made systems that you know they're not 100% efficient? You know they're not, but yet you put faith in them. But an omnipotent, omnibenevolent God, no, I can't possibly put faith in that. It's a good question.